When it comes to time management and getting control of your day, the clock comes second. Being very clear on what you want to achieve comes first. If you don't know what you want to achieve, you don't know what to do with your time. It's very important to understand what you need to achieve. So we come in, we take our quarterly action plan, and each week before it starts, not Monday morning. Monday morning's too late, the phone's already started, hasn't it? Before it starts, whether it's Friday afternoon, on the weekend or whatever, we actually stop and look at next week. Does anyone here spend some time planning their week out? What happens when you plan your week out? How do you feel during the week? Organised, in control. And on the weeks you don't do it? Oh God, what have I got to do now? Oh, I can't get that done. I've got to do this. So it's very important that we plan our week, but planning our week to a default plan, where you have set things you do at certain times on certain days. And that's what we said we did with John. We took John and we created his default plan for his week. And now he listed all his activities and put them into categories. And then he set certain times frames on Monday when he works on marketing, certain time frames here when he's doing his operational stuff, certain time frames here on a day. And that pattern totally depends on your business and how it works. It could be a number of times in the week where you have the same category. Just depends on your business. But you then, as you go forward, you always plan around doing that work at those time frames and on those days. Now I know people, when I talk about a conference like this, everyone gets, oh, that won't work in my business. Never work in our industry. The simple fact is it works anywhere and everywhere if you're prepared to sit down and make it work. And what happens is you start grouping stuff together and you start getting significantly more done. We did our time management workshop down in Kooyaruk the other day on Thursday, and one of the guys in it, he's got a real estate agency. He says, yeah, no, I pay this bill comes in, so I stop and I go and pay that, and then I might pay this bill tomorrow and this bill in the afternoon. Those sort of processes, as you guys know, they take up lots of time, whereas if you put them all together, they can take up only a little bit more time than what one does, and you're actually getting more done. So the default planning process, it's not something you can start and put in place today and make work next week. It takes quite a number of months to settle it in and get it going as you develop the other skills we need to develop to make your time available as well. That then leads us into our daily planning. Who spends time planning their day? Yeah. Very important that you have a very clear picture of your day and have it prioritised so as you can get on with it.
What do you do if you, because I try to do the planning thing,
Yes?
but then I'll get an urgent email from a client, or the school will ring you because my son's got sick, or something happens. How can you kind of overcome that? Like I've tried to, I'll plan out, I'll say, from 9 to 11 I'm working with this client, I will not respond to other emails, I will not answer my phone, but then
Okay.
like I'll see something come through and I'll think, oh, they'll only take
Spot on
5
question,
minutes.
because not every day goes to plan, does it?
Yeah, most days.
It's about the more you plan, the more it works to plan. But things do happen. Your child gets sick, they get sick. That's it. You're up and gone. You can't change that. But how often does he get sick?
Well, not often, but that was just like an example, like a following
Yeah,
day,
but-
might be that,
Yeah, but
someone comes to your door.
someone comes to your door.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We work from home, and you think, well, it might be important, and then it's a
They knock on the door, you open
door
up and say, do you read the Bible?
sign on the thing.
Look, as we look at the other skills, remember what I said, the key is, as I said, you can't make this work one day. Time management, getting control of your day, you cannot do a one-day workshop, half-day workshop, two-day workshop, and we'll come out tomorrow and make it work. Who's done those workshops? Been all fired up, all ready to go, and the next day there's nothing ticked off on your list that night. There are quite a lot of other skills that they didn't go through that you need to develop that can't be developed in 1 or 2 days. They take months. Our coaching program goes for 13 months, where we go through developing the skills in you, because it cannot be learned. in 1 or 2 days. So you've got our daily planning to get it done, and over time you start to get control of some of those things and start to make them work. And that's the key. Is most people think, oh, gee, well, how can you do this and do that? Today you won't stop it, but over time you slowly will. That's the key. And we've now arrived at work with our to-do list for today, organised, ready to go. And then our third inescapable component comes in. You. This thing up here. We start to sit down and look at our list and say, okay, I've got to do that, but I hate doing that. I'll get this easy one done. That one's a quick one. I'll get that done, and then I'll get on to it. Our procrastination skills come in, don't they? Who's really good at those skills? No, they're the killer. They're the killer. It's very important that we start to focus on eliminating that procrastination and start to understand why we procrastinate and how. And I've seen things written 13 ways to stop procrastination, 7 ways, stuff like that. You know, there's only one way.
Stop.
You know, what makes you procrastinate, guys? It's the one thing that controls every second of your day. What is it?
Fear.
What creates your fear?
Fear of missing out.
What's the one thing that creates your fear?
We do. The ditch the bitch.
This thing up your thoughts, guys.
Yeah.
The way you are thinking is what creates the problem. Negative thinking versus positive thinking. The minute you find yourself putting something off, wrong thoughts. I need to get it done. That's the only thing you need to do to stop procrastination. But you have to have, it's the self-discipline. You've got to get control of it. You need to be able to control the distractions in your day, don't you? Now, they're not the people things. The distractions are the telephone calls, the push notices on your phone, upside down for the phone and turn the sound off. The emails that keep on bing, bing, bing. Now, you guys know that one, and you've probably got control of the emails, to an extent by the sounds of it.
It's like you think, I'll just take 30 seconds, I'll read it, and you think,
yeah, deadly.
oh, just take another
If you
minute.
find yourself doing that, back out of it, focus on what you've got to do, than that. It's wanting to go and look at that new bit of technology, go and research it because I want to buy the new Apple Watch. It's wanting to go and do this, it's wanting to go and do that. You know, the distractions are the things where you lose control of focus with your mind. Who knows how long they can focus on anything for? How long?
45 seconds.
Still a 3-year-old. You know, most people can stay focused on a specific task for about 60, 70 minutes. Why don't you get yourself out for 90 minutes? But if you can understand how long you can focus for before your mind irretrievably starts wandering off, only plan to work it for that amount of time. And then have a distraction break. Focus on what you need to do and then stop, have a distraction break. I work my day in 90-minute intervals. I focus for 90 minutes and then Suzanne and I'll go for a wander down the beach or something like that, and then come back and then a little bit more. 90 minutes. It's a case of understanding what distracts you, how long you can focus for, and then set up that methodology and process on how you're going to work your day. How long I'll focus and how long I won't. Now, I'm not going to talk about the business mum's time trap here today, but it's about how much time you've got available in the day to work as well, isn't it? Some have got plenty of hours, some have only got limited hours. And you've got to be able to focus in that time and get things done, otherwise you haven't got a business because you don't do it. So very important that we understand controlling distractions, have a methodology for actually focus time, distraction time, focus time, distraction time. Don't try and focus for hours on end trying to get something done. All you do is drain your batteries. And come mid-afternoon, how are you going? Just as well I pick the kids up. Couldn't do any more anyway. But then you've got to come back afterwards maybe for an hour or so and try and focus. If you have focus time, distraction time, focus time, distraction time, you actually keep the batteries charged and keep yourself going longer. And then, once we've got that working, we've got our people management skills is the other inescapable component. Do you ever notice the more people you have to work with, the harder it is to get things done? More people around you, more interruptions in your day. We need to start to control those interruptions, don't we? It's about understanding. Yes. It's about understanding what interrupts you in your day, what's important and what's not. There's an amount of things in your day that interrupt you that aren't that important, and there's things that are. So it's learning the processes of how you start to reduce the interruptions. How you reduce people asking you questions. How you reduce people wanting you to solve their problems. It's learning some key skills in that area that enables you to start to get some control back from those interruptions. I talked about Gibson earlier on. 7 to 9 times a day he was coming to me with his spare parts issues. I got and organised the training with Ivy, and after about 3 months he was down to 1 to 2 times a day interrupting me. How much time do you think that saved in my day?
Oh, 400 hours.
Easy. Got them all back. Just by identifying what distracted me the most, why, how and how I get rid of it. The other way is how I reduce people coming to me with questions and that stuff all the time. Learning those processes.
Peter, can I
Yes?
just ask one question before you move from this slide? Under planning,
Yes.
3 key goals.
3 key goals.
So you've got C as your goals, then the next 12 months, what the goals are for the year. Those
Yep.
3 key goals, where do they fit in? Are they
Okay.
within your year or within...
Yes, what we do is we look at our goals for the next 12 months. Now, you'll rattle off a bit of a list of them. You can't focus on them all. So what we say is, all right, let's come 24th of December. We've knocked off for the year. We're sitting back having a drink, and we say to ourselves, oh, what a year. I've had a great year and I've achieved. What are those things? And then once we've got that, we turn around and say, all right, now, out of that list,